Well, hello my darlings, and welcome back to another episode of DIY 101 with yours truly, moi. On today's episode, we're going to talk about the silverware or the cutlery that you are going to need for a formal place setting. Stay tuned. Before we get started, I'd just like to explain something to you. Now, short of purchasing an entire new set of silverware that I may or may not use in the future, I opted instead to look at a few thrift stores to see what I could see. Unfortunately, I was not able to find any formal set of silverwares or cutlery in these thrift stores, and as such, today's video is going to be a voice over, and I'm going to be using a picture or a diagram to share with you the silverware or the cutlery that you will need for your formal place setting. So if we take a look at this diagram, we can see one, that it is labeled, and two, that it is very expansive. And just to review from what we looked at last week, you can see that in the upper right hand corner of your diagram, you can see the 5 glasses that we discussed last week. Now, if you look in the upper left hand corner, you can see that our key runs from 1 to 18 on the left hand side, and on the right hand side our key runs from 19 to 23. Today we are going to be talking about the silverware or the cutlery that you need for your formal place setting. So let's start at number 1. Number 1 we can see is our salad fork. Number 2 would be our fish fork. And number 3 would be our dinner fork. Now, if we skip over to the outer right hand side and take a look at number 18, we can see that number 18 is a seafood fork. Well, the difference between the fish fork and the seafood fork is that the fish fork is used for eating fish, whereas number 18 or your seafood fork is going to be used to handle your shellfish, your shrimp, your crab, breaking into your claws. So that is the difference. If we jump up to number 8, we can see that number 8 will be our dessert fork. And if we just jump on down to number 7 as well is going to be our dessert spoon. Now, let's go to number 5, and we can see that number 5 is going to be our butter knife, in which we're going to use to butter our bread, butter our potatoes, whatever it is that we need to butter. This is the knife that we are going to use. Now, jumping to number 13, we can see that number 13 is our salad knife. Number 14 is our meat knife. Number 15 is our fish knife, which works in tandem with our fish fork. And you can see how that fish knife is shaped with that divot right there that is going to help you to separate your meat from your bone. And then number 16 and number 17 is your soup spoon and your teaspoon, which of course your teaspoon will be used if you are mixing your tea or adding sugar to your coffee. Now, of course, this is a complete spread. Well, not necessarily complete, because there's some more silverware that you could add to this. But for now, this is what we are looking at as is going to be necessitated by the courses that you are going to serve your guests. There are oyster forks that you can add to this, lobster forks that you can add to this, and each fork, of course, looking a little different to serve the purposes for which they were created. Well, there you have it, my darlings, the silverware or the cutlery that you are going to need to set a formal place setting. I sure do hope that this information has been useful to you, and if it has, please be sure to let me know in the comment section below. We would love to hear from you. And so, my darlings, until next time, please take care of yourselves for me. Know that I love you all. Mwah, mwah. Bye now.